Hello everyone, this is my digital media presentation for the Mennonite religion. This is something that I would show to staff members before starting the school year, especially to those staff members who might have a student in their classroom who practices the Mennonite religion. So I'll start with some of the Mennonite beliefs. They do believe in Jesus Christ as a Savior, and the Bible is their sacred text. They place a particular emphasis on their separation from and nonconformity to the secular world and its practices. Their beliefs stress sharing economic resources with the needy, and purchasing insurance is questionable among most believers. All of this information came from NACA. 3 new things that I learned about the Mennonite religion. Most common thing that I just kept finding over and over is their simplicity. So their clothing is clothing that lacks decoration. They live a plain way of life. Any extra money that they do earn from jobs and from their work, they are encouraged to give that to the needy, so that they don't want anything fancy. They don't need fancy cars, fancy things for their homes. Their life is simple. They need nothing extra to distract them away from Jesus. Girls' hair is always in a bun, and men are often seen wearing hats with beards. The second thing I learned was they are strong proponents of peace. I didn't know this, but they do not participate in the military. They don't enlist in the draft. They do not pay a section of the taxes for the military services. That's against their belief. They want to be peaceful and nonviolent, and so they don't agree with some of the things from the military. The third thing is there are 2.1 million Mennonites in the U.S. 6,000 different congregations are in the United States. The numbers have fallen in the U.S. in the past few years, but they're growing worldwide. A lot of people are moving away from the faith. Probably, I could see that with the plain way of life. They're just moving away from the faith and going a different route, and so their numbers are down just in the U.S., but growing worldwide. There are different branches of Mennonites, some more strict than others, especially with the clothing that's seen often. Some Mennonites are strict on their clothing and their cars, and others aren't so strict in that area. So it kind of depends on the region of how strict the Mennonites are. And so how does this affect my classroom? Clothing would be the biggest thing. Clothing in Mennonites looks a lot different than what the teachers or other students might be wearing. So you may have to address that with the students of why the girls are always wearing the long sleeve, long dresses, and same with the boys wearing plain clothes. Especially if there's a staff member in the building who is Mennonite, you might need to explain that to the children of why they dress different, or they might make comments. Another thing that I thought of, they may not want to be involved in Veterans Day activities. I always do an activity in my classroom where we write letters and draw pictures to soldiers and send them on Veterans Day, and they might not agree to that or want their child to participate in that because of their beliefs against the war. And the most important thing, we just need to support them and love them, treat them as we would anyone else in our classroom. Our number one goal is to educate our children, and so no matter what their beliefs are, we need to treat them just as we would anybody else, and to help our students learn and be successful. The references that I used are Casanova and NACA, both different articles on the Mennonite belief system.